The transaction chamber gleamed with bioluminescent crystals, casting purple shadows across Addison's scaled face. Her reptilian eyes vertical slits of amber fixed on the human standing before her, with an intensity that made lesser beings flee. But Elijah didn't flinch. "You understand the terms." Addison's voice rumbled with the ancient timbre of her Dracari lineage. Her wings, folded against her back, shifted slightly. 5 standard years. You provide companionship, attend diplomatic functions, and uphold the honor of House Valasha. In return, your family's debt to the consortium is erased. Elijah met her gaze steadily. "I understand." She hadn't expected his calm. Most humans trembled when presented to a Dracari noble, especially one whose scales shimmered with the deep crimson of royal blood. Humans were considered the galaxy's newest spacefaring species, barely 2 centuries since first contact. Technologically inferior, physically weak, they were tolerated, sometimes pitied, occasionally exploited, but rarely respected. "The payment has been transferred," Addison said, turning toward the viewport that overlooked the sprawling megalopolis of Velkarin Prime. "Your family is free. The contract begins now." 3 months into their arrangement, Addison found herself confused. Elijah had proven efficient. He learned Dracari customs with unsettling speed, navigated the treacherous waters of noble politics with unexpected grace, and never once complained about the isolation that came with being a human in a Dracari household. What confused her was everything else. "Your scales," Elijah said one evening, standing in the doorway of her private chambers. "May I ask about them?" Addison looked up from the holographic reports floating before her. "What about them?" "They're beautiful. The way they catch the light, it's like watching a sunset on Earth. The old Earth, before the atmosphere processors." He stepped closer, genuine curiosity lighting his eyes. "Each scale is slightly different. Is there a pattern? A meaning?" No one had ever asked her that. The Dracari took their physiology for granted. Other species either feared it or fetishized it. But Elijah looked at her with the wonder of someone discovering art. They tell a story," she found herself saying. "My lineage. My achievements. This one," she touched a scale near her collarbone, "darker than the others, marks my first diplomatic victory. I was 60 years old." 60? Elijah smiled. "You're what, 200 now?" 217. Young, by Dracari standards. He moved closer still, not with desire, but with genuine interest. "On Earth, we have tattoos. We mark our skin to remember, to proclaim, to honor. Your people are born with the canvas already painted. That's profound." Addison felt something crack in her chest, some wall she'd built over 2 centuries of being what her people expected. The incident at the Consortium Summit changed everything. Ambassador Krelix of the Velthoran dynasty had been needling Addison all evening, making pointed remarks about her pet human and the desperation that would lead a noble house to such measures. The other delegates laughed behind their claws and tentacles. Elijah, standing beside her in formal attire, remained silent until Krelix made his fatal mistake. "Tell me, human," the ambassador sneered, "how much did House Valasha pay for you? We're considering acquiring some of your kind for entertainment purposes." The room fell silent. Elijah's expression didn't change. His voice remained level, almost conversational. "I'm curious, Ambassador. Your species achieved faster than light travel 12,000 years ago, correct?" Krelix's mandibles clicked with irritation. "Yes, what of it? And in those 12 millennia, how many times has your civilization nearly destroyed itself?" "We have always been united 3 times, Elijah continued, pulling up a holoscreen with casual efficiency. "The Schism Wars, the Genetic Purge, the Colonial Rebellions. Each time, millions died. Your species barely survived." He swiped to another screen. "Humanity achieved FTL 73 years ago. In that time, we've had border disputes. Yes, trade disagreements. But we haven't tried to genocide ourselves. Not once, since we reached the stars." He stepped forward, and something in his bearing made the towering alien lean back. "You want to know what makes humans dangerous, Ambassador? It's not our technology. It's not our numbers. It's that we remember every war, every mistake, every time we failed to be better, and we carry that weight with us, determined not to repeat it." His eyes blazed. "We're young, we're new, and we're learning from everyone's mistakes, including our own. Give us time, and we'll show this galaxy what perseverance really means." The silence stretched. Then, one by one, delegates from minor species began signaling approval, a gesture rarely given to humans. Addison felt pride swell in her chest, not for herself, but for him. That night, in the quiet of the transport back to Velkyran Prime, Addison broke protocol. She reached across the seat and took Elijah's hand. "You didn't have to defend my house," she said quietly, "or your species." Elijah's fingers intertwined with her talons, careful of their sharpness. "Yes, I did, because this stopped being just a contract about 3 weeks in. When you showed me your garden, the earth plants you'd been cultivating. When you said you wanted to understand my homeworld, not just use me to solve a political problem." He met her eyes. "When I realized you saw me as a person, not a purchase." Addison's scales rippled a physiological response she couldn't control, betraying emotion she'd been trained to suppress. "The contract has 4 years and 9 months remaining," Elijah finished. "I know, but Addison, I'm not staying because of the contract anymore." She stared at him, this human who'd somehow become more than she'd ever expected. "Your people have a saying about walking a mile in someone's shoes to understand their journey," Elijah confirmed. "I bought a companion," Addison said, her voice barely above a whisper. "But you taught me what partnership means, what it means to be seen, not just observed, to be questioned, not just obeyed." Her grip tightened slightly. "You're right. This is more than a simple deal." "So what is it?" Addison smiled, her fangs catching the starlight streaming through the viewport. "I believe you humans call it a beginning," Elijah laughed, the sound warm and impossibly human in the sterile transport. "Yeah, we do." Outside, the stars streamed past, ancient and indifferent. But inside, a dragon girl and a human boy had discovered what the rest of the galaxy was only beginning to learn. That humanity's greatest strength wasn't technology or warfare. It was their ability to see the person beneath the scales, the soul beneath the surface, and the possibility in every encounter, no matter how transactional it began. End.